Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video about how to put faith or how to put Islam into your morning routine, how to fill your morning with, good deeds, with things that are going to start your day off right. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Najia. My channel mainly focuses around three main topics: self-improvement, mental health, and then I infuse my Islamic values into those conversations. A huge goal of my channel is just to show people how Islam it's a way of life. It's not just like, oh, you pray at certain times of the day and you wear a hijab and that's it. There's so much more to it. There's so much more that kind of guides the way that we live. So that's a huge goal of my channel, and I'm hoping that this video can kind of help in conveying that goal. So yeah, I'll just jump right into it. The first thing that I would say to do when you're trying to have a more Islamic-filled morning or faith-filled morning and is waking up early. I've talked about this in videos before. Waking up early is something that's recommended in the religion. It's something I would recommend if you're trying to put faith more into your daily routine, into your morning routine. Some of the reasons that waking up early is such a beneficial thing Islamically is because if you wake up, like for example, really early, like let's say you wake up before dawn, so this is in the hours of the morning, like 3, 4 kind of a thing. In the religion, we know that making dua or asking God for certain things, that's what making dua means, that doing that in the last third of the night is a very recommended thing. So the last third of the night is like the time close to dawn time, but it's still nighttime, like it's still completely dark. So the reason that making dua during the last third of the night is such a recommended thing is because we know from the Prophet that making dua during that time or asking God for things during that time is a time when your dua is more likely to be accepted. So what does it mean when I say it's more likely to be accepted? Well, just generally speaking about dua, we believe as Muslims that when you make dua to God about something that that something happens in your life, you're asking God for something, then you're never losing out, even if you don't get what you're asking for, like in this life. There's several outcomes for dua. So there's several outcomes for asking God for something. The first outcome would be you ask God for something and you get what you're asking for. So if you make dua to Allah asking for something and you don't get what you're asking for, three main things happen. The first is that you get reward for that act of worship. The second is that by doing that act of worship, Allah will protect you from a certain bad thing that might come to you. Allah will protect you from that thing, and you don't know what it is because it didn't happen to you, but by doing that act of worship, you are protecting yourself from an affliction. And lastly, the thing that you asked for, the thing that you made dua for, you will get that thing in paradise. So if you don't get it in this life, you'll get it in the hereafter. For your morning routine, it's highly recommended that you wake up really early, and early can mean different things to different people, but specifically if you wake up before dawn time and you do utilize that time to ask God for certain things that you need or certain things that you want, you are doing yourself a service because you might get that thing, but then also because even if you don't get that thing, you still win in the end. And then another thing that you can do if you've woken up early is that if you're awake during dawn time, so during the time between dawn and sunrise, which is the Fajr prayer time or the morning prayer time, and you utilize that time to not only pray Fajr, pray the morning prayer, but also to pray 2 rak'ahs of sunnah before the Fajr prayer, then that is an extremely good thing in the religion. It's extremely rewardable. The Prophet said that praying 2 rak'ahs prior to Fajr is an extremely rewardable thing, and it's better than the whole world and everything that's in it for you. So if you do that on a consistent basis, you're getting massive amounts of reward, and if you do it with a sincere intention, of course. And then also another benefit of waking up early in the religion and starting your day off early is that you'll be waking up in time to pray Fajr prayer, which is an obligatory prayer. So we should be waking up and praying it. However, of course, if you sleep through it, you can pray it when you wake up. But, it's definitely a good thing for us to wake up at that time and do our obligatory prayer rather than making it up later. Another thing you can do during that dawn, Fajr, Subh, people call it different things, during that morning time, but the time between dawn and sunrise and then a little bit after, is you can make tahseen. And what tahseen is it's a form of protection for you throughout the day. It's something that the Prophet used to do. He used to recite the last 3 surahs of the Qur'an in the morning after Fajr had come in, so after dawn started. And doing so is a form of protection. So we know that if we recite those last 3 surahs of the Qur'an 3 times in the morning, we are protected from the jinn, so from the devil, if you don't know what jinn means, and you are also protected from harm throughout your day. So it's so amazing to do that in the morning, and then also to do it at night at Maghrib time, which is after the sun has set. To do it around that time as well is also a really good thing. So that's another thing you can do if you wake up early in the morning to infuse Islam into your morning routine. So another thing you can do in the morning, regardless of whether or not you wake up, super duper early, so like before dawn or like during dawn, regardless of that, there are other things that you can do in the morning that will kind of put Islam into your morning routine. So another thing is that you can kind of make it like a goal for yourself to every single morning, like before you go to work, for example, or before you get ready for school, just give yourself like extra 10 minutes or so to just sit down and read a surah of the Qur'an. So to read like Surah Al-Ikhlas or Surah Al-Zalzala or something like that, just to pick a different one each day and read it in the morning. You'll just start off your morning feeling better, feeling intentioned, feeling like, you're starting off your morning right. And you'll get through a lot of the Qur'an if you switch every single morning, if you get through a different surah. And if you know the entire Qur'an, you've taken the entire Qur'an, that could actually be a way for you to, continue to review the Qur'an. That's another thing I would recommend for the sake of just, having something Islamic in your morning, even if you didn't, for example, wake up for Fajr, even if you didn't do those other things I mentioned. This is something you can do, and it doesn't matter what time of day it is. I mean, you can do it in the morning before you go to work or whatever, just to start your day off in that way, but you could also do it later in the day. So that's just another thing I would recommend. Another thing you can do in the morning is you can eat certain foods that the Islamic scholars recommended eating to strengthen your memory. So there's actually things that you can do. So like if you're a student, if you're, currently memorizing the Qur'an, or you're currently memorizing a different Islamic book, or you're going to work, or whatever it is, you can always implement these things in your life. And the Islamic scholars told us that these are foods that will strengthen our memory. So what a great way to start off our morning. So the 3 main foods that you can eat that I know of that will strengthen your memory are za'atar, which it's like a mixture of herbs kind of, and I don't know exactly what the herbs are, but I will put them right here on the screen. I'll just like Google it. And then another thing you can eat in the morning to strengthen your memory is a spoonful of honey and 7 raisins. So those are things that the scholars recommended, and that's also another great way to start off your morning with Islam or faith infused into it. Another thing that you can do in the morning prior to going to school or work is, so I've talked about this as well in past videos, like making a plan for your day is so key to staying on task and staying on schedule, things like that. But something you can do when you plan out your day is like, okay, I have to do this, I have to go to work, I then have to cook food. When I get home, I then have to do this, this, and this. You can think about all the different tasks you have to do for the day, and then think about how you can correct your intention, how you can make your intention something that is rewardable in the religion. We know in the religion that with almost anything you do, with so many things that you do in life, you can have a sincere, good Islamic intention and then get reward for that thing, even if it seems like a mundane thing. Like just going to sleep, if you correct your intention, you can get reward for going to sleep. If your intention when you go to sleep is, okay, I'm sleeping right now so that I have enough energy tomorrow to perform more acts of worship and to, just to do things like that, or to learn a new chapter of religion, for example, or something like that. If you make that intention before you sleep, then you get reward for simply sleeping. So if you think about all the things that you have to do in the day and you're like, okay, I have to go to work, for example. How can I correct my intention for that? How can I have a good Islamic intention for that and get reward for simply just doing my job, like going to work? Well, you can think, okay, well, I'm going to work. Why am I going to work? I'm going to work so that I can provide for my family. That's something that's good in the religion. That's a good religious intention that will ultimately garner you reward. Another intention you can have for work is like, I'm going to work so like, let's say you're not providing for a family, for example. I'm going to work so that I can get money and so that I can donate a portion of that money to poor Muslims, for example. That's another great intention. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It can be like, $30 or something like that, but where are you gonna get that money from? From going to work. So you can say, okay, I'm going to work so that I can get money, so that I can donate some of that money to poor Muslims. That's a great intention, and that's a great way for you to get reward from going to work, from just simply doing something that you're already gonna be doing, if that makes sense. So that's one example. But then another example is just like getting dressed in the morning. Like, let's say you're guy or woman, right? So if you're a woman and you're putting on a hijab, then you can make the intention, okay, why am I wearing this hijab? It's not just out of habit or because it looks cute or whatever. I'm putting this hijab on because God ordered us to cover certain parts of our body, different parts for women, different parts for men. So I'm putting on my hijab to obey God and what he ordered us to do. And if you're a man and you're putting on pants, for example, you can make the same intention. You can be like, I'm putting on these pants right now, I'm covering this part of my body because God ordered me to cover this part of my body. And he did. He ordered males to cover between their navel and their knees, so like their belly button and their knees. So if you're putting on pants and you're covering that part of your body, then you can make that intention, you know what I mean? So just like finding the different parts of your day. How can I structure my day so that each thing I'm doing, or almost everything I'm doing, has a sincere intention, has a good intention, and I can get the maximum religious reward out of my day. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. That's everything I wanted to say, every tip that I wanted to give for how you can insert Islam or insert faith into your morning routine and just have a bit more of a faithful morning, I guess, or an Islamic morning. Sometimes we just forget that there are so many ways that we can insert Islam into our day, or insert reward into our day, get more reward from our day. So I hope the things I mentioned just kind of help you bring Islam a little bit more into your day and get reward in ways that you wouldn't have thought to get reward. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments if there's any other things that people can do in their morning routine to kind of insert Islam into their morning or insert Islam into their day. As I'm sure there are things that I left out. These are just the things that I could think of. So let me know if there's anything that I was missing, anything that you do, anything that you thought of, stuff like that. I would love to hear. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Assalamu alaikum, bye.